Another shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Another shot is gonna hit you with a mind overloaded, loaded. The bar is always open with no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. Cause remember, everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be the alcohol talking. It might be the alcohol talking. Let's go.
Welcome to another Shot Podcast, where our opinions might be real, or it could just be the liquor talking. Sit back and enjoy another shot.
Well, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Sorry for the tardiness, but thank you everybody for joining us for our Thirsty Thursday Thoughts and Shots. So I got the message earlier today, and somebody else had to work. So again, the inmate gets to run the asylum. Good times, good times. Oh man. But before we get started, let's do a quick shout out to our people. Good food, good drinks, and the official sponsor of Another Shot Podcast. Let's give a shout out to our good friends over there at MLH Distillery, located right here in Grove City, Pennsylvania. Their hours of operation are Friday 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. All these awesome drinks you see on your screen, and you see us serving at the bar. You can purchase right there at MLH Distillery, or you can get them at mlhdistillery.com. Guys, check out, make sure you're there getting your drinks. Try one of their many tasty bites. I personally recommend this 3-meat meatballs and the warm pretzel with beer cheese. Everything on this menu is good, guys. You can't go wrong. Yes, they are a cocktail style bar, so you can get rum and cokes, an old-fashioned whiskey sour, mint juleps, as well as many more. They have select beer, wine, and seltzers as well. And for you non-alcohol drinkers, yes, they do have select sodas. So make sure you check them out at MLH Distillery. You can find them at mlhdistillery.com, and you can also find them on Facebook. Another shout out, our good friends over there at Snap-on Tools. Appreciate you guys. There's nothing I can say about the Snap-on Tools you guys didn't already know. Quality product, awesome selection. Make sure you check them out as well. So, I tell you what, it's been an odd day. And a lot of you are going, oh, you were hungover. You know, yeah, I did. I kind of, a little bit last night. A little more than I expected to. And shout out to some of the people that jumped on there and said, hey, by the way, dude, you are getting to that point. I didn't plan on staying on that long last night. You know, I actually had intentions of just going to bed. And I mean, as always, somebody comes in or a couple people come in and it looked like there was a conversation starting. And I thought, well, why not? Let's, try and keep things going. And, I did go a little overboard with the alcohol. Not even thinking that, hey, by the way, dude, the one you're pouring is 100 proof. Which is, if you guys have heard me on past conversations, I am getting very, I guess you could say snobbish with my drinks. So, I mean, I'm getting to be that guy that likes the higher proof. But, when you're drinking them, try not to, yeah, it's okay to have some fun and make a drink out of them, but they're sippers. That's all they're meant to be, is just sippers. Good time, And then, like I said, the conversation just kept on going, and sometimes I feel like I sound like, a broken record, going on and on and on and on about the art of conversation. Now, when I say all this, guys, there's a reason we made the tagline, everything we say is just our opinion. But see, for me, when I have a conversation with somebody, yeah, I mean, there's times that they just get kind of sprung on me, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'll follow it as best I can. Well, normally I won't get into a conversation, a debate, an argument, anything like that, without first having some knowledge or something to back what I'm saying. Whether it be a personal experience, something I've studied on, something, I've seen firsthand, How many of you out there have had that conversation with where it just seems like the person across from you is just wanting to make it one-sided? It's hard to converse with anybody that just wants to sit there and go, I'm right, you're wrong, no matter what you say. Now, granted, everybody's got their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But hello, Miss Shannon. How you doing, sweetness? Well, you might as well say, you gorgeous person, you, because there's only one of us in here tonight. But, anyways, Kitty Cat had to work, Shannon. There was okay, so Miss Shannon says it's all about me. We get your joke. Nice. One of the things I loved having you on here with me is because you and I... Oh, well, hello, John. Yes, you are gorgeous too, good sir. How was today's work? Shannon Sweetness, I loved having you on here because you and I found a way to talk. You gave your opinions, and neither one of us ever, there's so many variables, and I make it sound more complicated than it actually is. You have to kind of put, tone of voice, everything, Yeah, I'm the Lone Ranger tonight. Poor cat had to work, and Ray got a boo-boo. Interesting. And John, Miss Shannon says, hello. I guess part of it is, I was getting bad last night, but I wasn't so bad that I don't remember... I do remember the conversations. I remember shutting down the live, and yeah, you're welcome, sweetie. I remember, I had every intention of cleaning up. Well, then I got a video call from a friend. And next thing you knew, we were out here a lot longer. We're just bullshitting and living our best life and laughing and joking. And naturally, instead of being, hey, Bill, you're already you're speaking slurs. No, Bill decides he's going to drink some more. So, yeah, last night was very interesting. But I say this to let you guys know that I may have been bad, but I wasn't like completely obliterated. A conversation got started last night, and it quickly spiraled, and it started with a couple people, and then it went in a completely different direction with one person turning around and going, you know what, this is why I can't talk here. You said this and missed all this, and then just boom, was gone. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, what was I missing? Because we have a few people that don't want to come on anymore because they, as they put it, they can't be them. They feel like they have to be somebody else. And what started off as, fun, laughing and joking about something turned into an actual conversation. Thank you. Oh, I got brought the holiday mug. Well, the other person in the conversation stuck around. We stuck it out for quite a while. And she even messaged after the fact and said, it was great talking to you, had a lot of fun, looking forward to seeing us again. It's just, so, I mean, I don't know. It's just, sometimes, you got to sit back. I try to be that guy that, I try not to be the hypocrite. I'm not a do as I say, but not as I do type person. I try to be that person that, if I say it, I live it. I'll lead by example. Because when you try to be that person that you're not, you try and act or talk bigger than what you actually are, I guess is a good way to put it. It will come back and get you. And I'll tell you right now, the worst thing you could do is try and bullshit your way through a conversation. How many of you guys out there know somebody like that? I've personally seen it to where, I see an instance where somebody was mad at somebody else because they decided they were going to come back from lunch, and instead of eating when they were out on lunch, they decided to mess around. Then they came back, clocked in, decided they were going to go ahead and start cooking food. What's going on, cuz? Haven't seen you in a hot second. Miss Sandy Bottom is back in. Well, one of the higher ups come back. Thank you, ma'am. Wait till you actually come and see it in person. A lot of people have seen it on camera now. They cannot wait to join me here. And I actually sent a message into the lovely wife. I don't know. I'm trying to stay chill. I'm already on a little late. I was like, can you please bring me out a cup of coffee? It'd be great. And now I get to rock the holiday mug. We need another shot mugs. And here it is, 8 o'clock, and I'm drinking coffee. Good Lord, like I'm in my early 20s again. Hey, the Big Butler Fair is coming up. Next month, maybe. Does that count as later this year? But anyways, back to my story. No, this person, without giving away anything, another one come in and immediately went, didn't you just come back from lunch? Yeah, I did, but I did this, and this instead of, and immediately went into, the very next words were, well, there's no eating on the clock. To which the other person replied, you do it all the time. You can't make this shit up, guys. The other one literally looked at the other and went, so if I go out in the middle of the warehouse and I take a shit on the floor, you're going to do that too? You literally, it's more along the lines of do what I say and not as I do. It took away all credibility of what they were trying to do. Ouch. That's why I say, when you're talking, and Sandy, you are right. Yeah, never a bad time for coffee, but I'm not getting any younger. Trust me. This could turn around and bite me in the butt later on. If they had said, hey, you were on lunch, that was your time, you need to get back into work, and then win a completely different, that would have been fine. But the fact that they turned it into a sticks and stones battle, more or less a pissing contest. The communication went nil, right out the window. And then, next thing you know, the other person was just standing there trying to flex muscle while the other one just wanted to be snotty about it. And I'm sitting there watching this whole thing because, believe it or not, I was actually on my official break at that time, watching this whole thing go about. Shannon says, I won't be able to sleep later. I don't know. When we came back from Jurgles that night, we all got coffee, and I didn't do too bad sleeping that night. Now, again, at the age, am I going to be running back and forth to the bathroom? Luckily now, I'm upstairs. And the bathroom is literally right across the hallway. I'm not having to get out of bed, climb steps, go through the living room, dining room, and either upstairs or downstairs into the basement. It's just... Things are hectic and crazy right now. I think where it kind of fell sideways last night, interesting conversation to have after the drink set in. And Miss Shannon, I will say this much. There may or may not have been a bottle down here involved, actually two of them. And we all know that these guys right here absolutely love to creep up on you. And trust me, it smacked me in the face again. So that's why, we got a whole bunch of pictures coming in, guys. Awesome. Okay. But, hey, Shannon says, I get decaf. Yes, bathroom run. I don't know, the next day, you kind of said, I've said it before, guys. I don't come out here anymore and intentionally go, man, I'm getting smashed. But my big problem is I get caught up in the heat of the moment. And before you know it, we're having so much fun, everything is going on, and I completely just stop keeping track. And last night was definitely a lot of 100-proof drinks. But, karma is a fickle little thing where I woke up to our new roommate letting me know that there was somebody at the door, they needed to get in the house. Yeah, they changed out the gas meter. So, at that point, I was up. I can't guarantee I got any sleep. But, God bless. But no, like I said, there was no hangover. It's just kind of, things should have went different. I take a little bit of responsibility because when you start, all of us have had that conversation with the drunk guy at the bar. Misinterpretation. The way I said it might have came off. I don't know. And I tell you what, the worst thing I can do is go back and watch any video of me drinking. Trust me. That's sobering enough. But this is also the risk I take with a bar theme show. I mean, I've got the stuff here, you know, but a lot of times, you know, it's just, you know, it's a single person at the bar. It works out so much better, and we do have all this stuff, not really as much for our consumption as it would be for actually people here. So, you know, and that doesn't mean I don't get a little gassed up when I do have people here. I mean, how many of you guys have watched Arliss in the house with me, or when we had Michael Copenhaver in here? These guys just, I mean, first off, they like to drink as well, and you know, they're trust me, they're like sharks in the water, and they smell blood. As soon as they know somebody's starting to kind of teeter, then they're going to start gassing me up too. No excuses. I mean, as a grown-ass man, I should be able to go, hey, I'm going to slow it up. But I did learn, you know, I have learned lessons. You know, I make sure not to go too far when I know for a fact I have to work the next day. And I finally broke the trend, and this was without the drink, of making sure, you know, start getting in there to open on time. And I'm especially going to have to make sure I'm up to open tomorrow, because I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to be the only person in there for who knows how long. Should make for an interesting evening. But I'm one of those people too that, you know, I always go back and I think back on, what did I say? What, you know, how, okay, I thought that conversation went great. You know, take note of, you know, how to talk to this person, how to talk to that person. Drink or no drink, I don't like fighting and arguing anymore. I really don't. Because I'm one of those ones that, you know, I do tend to, Ray says yes. What, he said yes about what? Oh yeah, and yes, ma'am, I did drink the creepers last night. And believe it or not, somebody kind of, you know, they came up with an idea for a drink right out the gate when we went on TikTok. So it was, that's why, you know, these bottles you guys all see, and you've heard me do the promo. The reason you see these bottles is because we try not to hit on them too often. Because like I said, they've gotten every one of us. I kind of thought so. Should make for an interesting morning. I'm just, I try not to dwell anymore. Now, I'll get personal about myself a little bit. I am one of those ones that, as hard as I try not to hold grudges or hold on to stuff that has happened years ago, and this, I say this, guys, because this is why I don't like to fight or argue until it's just like to that point where, okay, simple conversation's not going nowhere. And then next thing you know, something is done. Trigger alert. Eat my Wheaties. How about Raisin Bran? I think that we don't have Wheaties in the house. I'll go with my Raisin Bran. You know, I don't know. I just, I've said it multiple times, guys. I try to live that simple life now. I try to have fun. Now, you've all heard me say I would love to do this, and I just seen another success story. A gentleman I follow just posted that, he's now going to be doing content creator full time. So, I mean, things are going great. I mean, I really enjoy doing this because I get the opportunity to come out there, and this is my vent. This is my, and I love hearing other people's opinions. And I'm sure all of us, nobody likes to hear that they're wrong. So there's that sting. But if you're going to have a conversation with somebody, definitely take pride out of it. Because there's not one person in here, out there, anywhere that is right 100% of the time. A conversation falls flat whenever you just go, you know what? It's my way, the highway. Who gives a shit? I'm one of those ones. I always look for room for, I try to find room for improvement. Okay, this worked. Now, can I make it better? Can I keep the momentum going? Can I, the last thing I do anymore is quit. I hate quitting anything. And we were actually having a conversation yesterday about obsession. Well, we were off for almost a whole month trying to get the bar done and back up and going. So now I'm on a mission to try and get things going back on here again. And I want to shout out to everybody that has been sending messages and saying how much they love the bar. That is very much appreciated, guys. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into this. And it's getting to the point where both of us are really starting to take a lot of pride in what we're doing. Now, like I said, unfortunately, and I can't fault her for tonight. I mean, she does have, with her having a daily now, and she does have a supervisor's position, there's going to be those nights where I'm going to get the message and it's just going to be like, hey, I'm not going to be there. It happens. But luckily, I've been kind of gassed up today. And apparently that's going to be my term of the night, gassed up. And, I mean, like I said, a lot of you guys were on there for a little while, saw me, saw what happened. The reason I don't like to get so far gone with the drink anymore, I don't like to get plastered, is because then the next day I start to wonder, what did I say? What did I do? Apparently last night it finally hit. I remember hanging up the phone, but I don't remember going in the house. And the fun part is, guys, I left everything on. Did I make it in the house? Did I even, I can't remember what. I honestly don't. And, maybe the age is catching up. I don't know. Because it happens more and more. But then again, there's, other variables that plays on my personal psyche. And, maybe I'm starting to lose touch with, coordination on, when I say coordination, guys, not my walking, talking, so on and so forth. Like, my time management is a better way to do it. Better way to say it. And before we get into the time management aspect of it, let's take a really quick break. And I do think I want to, let's turn that off. What do I want to do? Given the conversation, I just feel like this would be perfect. So let's go with Gary Burke III, our boy GB3, Who I Used to Be. This is his newest single, guys. Enjoy. We'll be right back.
Friday night fights and Sunday barroom blues. I raised a little hell, burned a few bridges down. I'm still standing, yeah, I turned it around. When they stop talking, don't let it break me. I walked through the fire and it didn't shake me. Tell them who I used to be, that broken man left out some back road dream. I ain't the same, I've been set free. Then I paid my dues, now the past don't haunt me. So if they ask, don't lie for me. Go on and tell them who I used to be. Whiskey and women, they call my name. Chased every shadow, carried the blame. But the good Lord's mercy and a love so true gave me a second chance with a better view. So when the whispers start to creep in, let the truth cut through where I've been. Tell them who I used to be, the broken man left out some back road dream. I ain't the same, I've been set free. Then I paid my dues, now the past don't haunt me. So if they ask, don't lie for me. Go on and tell them who I used to be. Every scar's a story, every sin a song. I wear the proof that I was wrong. I ain't fighting, I won't pretend. Found redemption in the way. Don't forget the man that you see. Stronger now, I finally believe. There's a fire in my soul, and a heart set free. So if they ask, don't lie for me. Go on and tell them who I used to be. Tell them who I used to be. Tell them who I used to be.
And we are back, guys. We are back. That was our good friend Gary Burke III, GB3 with Who I Used to Be. Felt like that was kind of appropriate for that one. So when I say my time management, I don't know, maybe I do have that bit of OCD, that obsessiveness, that, you know, because I don't, once I get a rhythm in something, I don't, it drives me nuts to watch it, you know, anything disrupt it. First and foremost, especially now, you know, I'm noticing more and more sleep. I need sleep. And I'm telling you, we literally, not only were we revamping the bar, the decision was made inside to start revamping in there. Something as simple as over 20 years I've been with a woman. We've always had the same side of the bed. It's just my comfy side. She had one. Out of nowhere, well, we're gonna move the bedroom and I'm gonna switch sides. I mean, even that's messing with me. Like, I don't know. I'm one of those ones. It's really hard for me to turn the brain off. There's been many nights I'll just try and lay down. I am one of those ones that I like having background noise. I like having, they say that's one of the worst things you can do is turn on a TV. Because the light actually disrupts your sleep. That's actually a proven fact, apparently. But I set the sleep timer, so trying to, but I also have to keep into consideration too, the person beside me does not like having the TV on, so you got that going on. We are only human, yes. This is from Shannon. We are only human, yes, we make mistakes, but you gotta learn from them. That will only make you better, and I think you feel better about yourself just going off of what you said. Yeah. Very much so. And yes, switching beds, switching sides of the bed is hard. I can honestly say, War of the Night obsession. I'm obsessed with doing this. I have an absolute blast doing this. Not all nights are good. There's times I struggle and I call it pissing in the wind, just trying to, I'll turn on the TV, lay down to go to sleep, and then next thing you know, I'm like, wait a minute, I was thinking about this earlier. And then before you know it, I'm looking something up on my phone. So I got the TV going, I got the phone going now. And I mean, before you know it, the time just ticks away. How many of you have actually sat down and realized, your average short is like 60 seconds long. That's a full minute, guys. So you watch 2 or 3 of that, there's 5 minutes gone. Or I tell you what, how about I get a brainstorm? A light bulb goes off and I'm like, oh, what if we try to do this? Can I do this? Or how would it be? How expensive would it be? How hard would it be? So before you know it, I'm looking up, something completely different. Or you've mixed the two. My schedule, I actually used to be very good about going to bed. It's like, okay, I got to get up. So 11 o'clock's my cutoff time. Regardless. And it used to be, okay, I'm going to come home, I'm going to chill, I'm going to relax, and then right before bed, well, it's that time. Then I go up, I get a shower, do everything else I'm supposed to do, and then right to bed. That's one thing I have to do before I go to bed to really be comfortable. Yes, Shannon says time flies. That phone is a monster. Now, even just watching a movie, I run into a problem with that too, because sometimes I'll just get so into the movie, I haven't seen this part in a while, or I haven't seen this movie in a while, so I'll sit down and I'm like, I'm watching it, and it just, before you know it, I'm halfway through, well, I might as well go ahead and finish it out, then I get up and I'll turn on another movie. Again, going back to the whole communication and, what's a good way to put it? See, I mean, my brain just completely went out the window there. Do you ever stop to think that maybe sleep first? Get your priorities in order. Okay. Time management. I know I got to be at work from this time to this time tomorrow, which leaves me this window for, whatever I need to do. Come out here, do this, try to stay on that schedule, regardless if you're off the next day. And, it's gotten to the point where I can't even sleep on vacation anymore. That's why I say, the vacation was fun. The travel was great. It wasn't resting. I didn't get to sleep. Some people are a lot better at it than I am, i.e., you've seen our good friend Steve in here, 6'9" we call him. I tell you what, that guy's a monster. He really is. I've watched him party like a rock star the night before, go home, get a couple hours of sleep, and get up and go to work. And he's the same age as me. So, I mean, you can't always just say, oh, it's the age thing, it's the age thing. Hell, Shannon and Ray know firsthand. There was a reason why Shannon had to back out a little bit. Okay, so Sandra says, I think we lose some motivation the older we get. On certain things, yes. Like for me, I started doing this 3 years ago, and more into it. You know, we officially say we're 2 years in now, because the first year was literally, we call it the dark days. We weren't even close to having, you know, a foothold on this whole thing. But, you know, I am motivated because honestly, for you guys seen it, for a little while we were actually doing absolutely solid. Now, it'll take a second to get back, and I know this, but I don't know, maybe my patience, it's like, no, it's got to happen right now. I'm that guy that, you know, when it's time to do something, do it. But you have to have, like you said, Shannon, you have to have the motivation to do it. There's house projects that she's been wanting me to get started on, and I want to do them, but it's like, do I want to do it right now? That's what really gets fun. I mean, there's multiple times I've said, hey, I want to start, you know, I maybe getting out and walking. And then I'm like, wait a minute, when do I have time to walk? When do I have time to go to the gym? You know, I'm on my feet all day long as it is. So, 6 years at a job where Monday through Friday, weekends and holidays off, then the layoff came. And that, you know, that happened not long after I returned from having my second shoulder surgery. You know, these are all things that like really get into my psyche. You know, the last job I had, you know, 2 shoulder surgeries later and a layoff. That was the thank I got for literally beating the shit out of myself for them. To now I've got a job where, you know, I have a set schedule, but I don't have a set schedule. You know, you never know which, you know, each day is going to be different. Am I opening this day? Am I a closer this day? Am I in a... Now, granted, it's nice, literally 50 yards behind the house is where I work. So I can, you know, saves on gas, you know, but I swore up and down when I first started, I did not want to get to the point where I was going to get too comfortable and become that guy that's going to walk over right at clock in time. Shannon, I am 100% with you on this one. She says, I just want to win the lotto so I can do the things I want. Oh, man, I'm telling you right now, if I ever hit the Powerball, the lotto, okay, let's bring the age thing back up. I know exactly what I would do first. Somebody's, you know, that joke has been going around for a while. And my last job, we were talking because that was around, you know, it was one of the times where the Powerball broke a record at how high it had gotten. And we all started, you know, chipping in. Next thing you knew, everybody was buying tickets for Wednesdays, and it was just, you know, what would you do if you won? Some people quit their jobs. Some don't. And one of the drivers said, I wouldn't quit my job, but I'm definitely going to walk around here like a man that's got $50 million in the bank. It's insane. The fun part is, you know, here's where it really gets interesting, guys. Here, let's twist your minds on this one for a bit. How many of you hear about these former winners today? Does anybody even, you hear about them, you know that, you know, it wasn't you, do you just forget about it? How are they actually doing? That's my whole thing on it. Doesn't mean I don't want to be the winner. You know, there's a lot of stuff I would love to do if I had that amount, the bank account to do stuff like that. But back to what I was saying. You know, now I've got a new job. Hours are different. Times are schedule's different. Now the first thing I want to do is when I get home, the lotto curse. Yes, Shannon. The lotto curse. Now, instead of taking a shower before I go to bed, now the first thing I want to do is come straight home and get a shower, then come out here and do it completely throws everything off. So again, you know, I'm not gonna lie, Kat has begged and begged and begged. Yeah. You need anything amazing, yeah. Especially now that she's working, we really need to start, getting on that schedule. And I'm not gonna lie, most of that's me, because I just can't. I don't want to stop. I can't turn it off. It just drives me insane to. Anybody else out there, like, I'm waiting, Miss Shannon is just like, I mean, obviously this is something that she's, experienced or experiencing, that she's running full tilt with me here. We need some other people popping in and getting, my wife's another good one for keeping the schedule. She will stay up on occasion. But, that alarm goes off, and I guarantee she got this from her dad, because her dad was just solid at this. Didn't matter what time he went to bed. He was up, and he says that don't hit the snooze button. As soon as your alarm goes off, sit up, put your feet down, get to walking, get to moving around. Once you start moving, you get that first cup of coffee, something like that. Give yourself time to adjust and wake up. And then he hit the ground running. So, crazy. Sarah's the same way. She'll sit there. Now, she is getting a little more towards the, okay, I'm going to hit that snooze a couple times, but then she makes sure, I think it's only like two snoozes and she's up and moving and going. I don't know. There's where the lack of motivation comes in for me. Like, I know I got to go to work, and the worst thing I can do is keep hitting the snooze, and especially on, my 9 o'clock days when I go in. I let that get to me. It's like, hey, I get that extra half hour to toy around with, but then, knucklehead, I don't have my alarm going past 8:30. So that happened to me the other day. I was supposed to go in. I was a closer that day. I was supposed to go in at 9, and I popped up. I'm like, son of a bitch. And on top of the fact, they were trying to get me to come in early because, hey, guess what? They were short an opener. Yes, the snooze button is bad, and I need to quit doing it. But this is where it gets weird. See, I cut my own legs out from underneath me because I set my alarm for like 2 hours before I'm supposed to get up. And then I'm sitting there hitting snooze, 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 snooze. And my thought process on that is, hell, I'll give myself a chance to wake up. When in reality, what am I doing? I'm going right back to sleep. Chances are I'm going to sleep right through a couple of these alarms. You know, in the wintertime, I need to get back to getting my coffee set up, you know. And the fun part is, I know we're getting into the busiest part of the year. I mean, it's literally going to be all hands on deck. Cousin Sandy says, but my bed is so cozy. Oh, she flipped on us. She went to, I see what you're doing, gorgeous. That's the other thing. I mean, you're so comfy. The last thing you want to do, because you know you're getting ready to get up, it's going to be strenuous, stressful. You're going to be sweating. Like me. It's already flipping around in my head. It's like, oh shit, I'm going to be by myself for at least 2 hours tomorrow. Now, I'm sure that they're not going to leave me out to dry, so if it gets to be too bad, somebody will come back and help. Oh, I know it's here. Yeah, Shannon says, Ray says it's here. Busy season at 100. 100. And you know how I know this? Because I'm not getting bitched at about overtime. Like I said, it was a rough night last night. And then I got up extra early. Woke up on the couch. Let's get that out of the way. Apparently, I decided I was going to go in and lay down on the couch. Woke up there. Then decided, hey, I'm going to go upstairs and lay down. At that point, it was already starting to warm up enough. I couldn't get comfortable. So I literally was tossing and turning. And I'm like, wait a minute, I got to do this, this, and this. And it was just... I will take any and all suggestions, guys, on what you think we should, you know, I could do to kind of get back to where I think the first step is get a good night's sleep, get a full night's sleep. You know, I practice what I preach, okay? So I'm already late on this one. Technically by now, I should be on the next one had I went on time. But, you know, maybe I need to plan ahead of time. Okay, well, we know they like to eat later than me. I need to get something in my stomach before I come out here and consume any alcohol. That way I can get myself motivated and ready. You know, I've already got, you know, that, so whatever happens from there happens. Come out here, do my thing. Stick to 2-3 hours max on the whole kit and caboodle. Get in there and get some fucking sleep. Yes, I dropped the F-bomb. There it was. Which is why every time I post this on Spotify, 100% I always hit explicit content. You never know what's going to be said. I don't know, guys. The heart to do it is there. There is motivation. It's just taking that first step. And again, this is why, I mean, my brain never turns off. It's constant rotation, 356, 24/7. It's crazy. And I'm sitting here like, you know, I'm watching my screen going, I want to, but I don't want to. You know, it'd be one thing to have a couple on here and then maybe, you know, there's... Aha! Well, you guys, you know, listening are just going to have to guess what just got posted. Like I said, guys, I just... You know, you guys are catching it. You know, this is thoughts and shots night, honestly, and I haven't had one damn shot. This is the stuff that goes through my head, though. And this is why I love doing this, because I get the opportunity to come on here and just talk and go, and I get responses from you guys, and just all around trying to figure it out. And like I said, I mean, how do you guys do it? I mean, Shannon, I know you, you gave us at least a month, couple of months, was it, and gave it a go. I don't know, maybe, I've got a different motivation now, coming on here and doing this full time. Would I love to do that? Yeah. But, as of right now, this is kind of what they would refer to as a pipe dream. So as I say, you crawl before you walk. Like I said, I just seen somebody say that, they just quit their daily so they could be a creator full time. And he said it was a long 7 years road. So part of me is kind of like, all right, cool. I'm 2 in. Going into 3, so I only got 4 more years. It's like, oh, wait a minute. So by the time I hit 50, I don't know. Cousin Sandy, self-discipline to stay on a routine. Stop making excuses for reasons why you can't do something, like put the phone down. That's something I struggled with. I will say I am actually getting better at that. But I do have a feeling there's going to be a butting of the heads going in, back inside, because the next step is going to be getting my side of the bed back. She's already said, if it really means that much to you, then do it. For me, it's going to be, trying to go back to that schedule I used to be on. Get back into that routine. Get my shower before I go to bed, or at least go in and rinse off. Something that, maybe I can trick myself into it. That's, try to get as close to that 8 hours of sleep as possible. Not getting up and being all foggy, and trust me, I already got the one person that, I keep telling him that every time he goes off, I'm going to start playing Meredith Brooks. Because the first thing, as soon as he goes nuclear, I always want to go over and just go, I hate the world today. But on that note, guys, we are getting ready to wrap this one up. And I've already got my finger on the trigger. Yes, I will be going on the next one. For those of you on TikTok, we're going to get things a little more upbeat. And we'll see where it goes from there. But Friday's going to be interesting. Or I'm sorry, Sunday for our Sunday weekend hangover, because that's Father's Day, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it is. Oh, I can't even remember dates anymore. We got our Monday night bartender coming up. We got our Tuesday night Real Flicks and Chill, and she never did get the opportunity last night. That's Shannon says, that's why I have to jump off TikTok at 9:30, 10 o'clock, or I won't sleep. Well, if I can hurry up, wrap this one up, we'll do an hour. And then we'll just, GB said it best when he was kind of giving us some advice. Leave them wanting more. I'm pretty sure an hour is more than enough. And when we can afford to do 2, we can do 2. But we have our Tuesday night Real Flicks and Chill. We never got the opportunity to talk about what the subject's going to be for this one. Maybe I'll get lucky and go to a movie and have a good review. We have our Wednesday night open bar. And of course, we round it all out with our Thirsty Thursday thoughts and shots. Guys, 2 quick shout outs. Our good friends over there at MLH Distillery, the official sponsor of Another Shot podcast. The hours of operation: Fridays, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturdays, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can purchase all these drinks you see on your screen or that you've seen us serving at the bar at MLH Distillery, or you can find them also at mlhdistillery.com. Guys, the menu bites, you can't go wrong, trust me. Hot sausage and peppers, the meatballs, spinach artichoke dip. Yeah, there's not much more I can say about that. Check out the cocktail list while you're there. The old-fashioned whiskey sours, rum and cokes, almond joys. They also have select beers, wine, and seltzers. And for you non-alcoholic drinkers, yes, they do have select sodas. Again, located right here in Grove City, Pennsylvania, MLH Distillery. Check them out at mlhdistillery.com, and you can also find them on Facebook. Another shout out to our friends at Snap-on Tools, man. Welcome in, guys. Welcome to the party. But that being said, June 21st, yes. The first last shot of the evening goes to Miss Shannon. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Your mind is a powerful thing. Miss Sandy says, yep. June 21st. I'm going to say, guys, chances are I'm probably still going to go on. So we will keep you guys posted on that. Keep your eyes on, I'm actually going to tell you to look at your phones, because we've already got the wheels in motion to start putting some more videos and posts and just trying to get that algorithm going. I guess now officially I will be doing... Holy crap. I guess the other thing I forgot to do last night, I guess I'm glad I'll be taking it in tonight. I never did do my dishes last night. Nice. Oh, it was the cracked coconut rum, I think, that got me, guys. But let's go back to Old Faithful. We'll go light on it. Thank you, Miss Shannon. And I'll make sure to return that to Ray tomorrow as well. Guys, there are good ships, there are wood ships, there are ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships. And may they always be. Again, for those of you on TikTok, we are heading there next. Looking forward to talking to you. Just remember, everything we say on this show is just our opinion. But then again, it could be the alcohol talking. You guys have a good night. Talk to you real soon.
Thank you for stopping in and listening to the Another Shot podcast. We shared some drinks, stories, and laughs. But it's time to say goodnight. Join us next time on Another Shot podcast.
If you're looking for a party, then man, have you found it? Now the shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Now the shot is gonna hit you with the mind overloaded. The bar is always open, but no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. Just remember, everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be the alcohol talking.